Hi everybody, I'm here this afternoon with Rob Meelan from Australian Accounting and Franchising Practice. I'm just asking Rob some sort of leading questions about franchising, and if I had a pair of franchisee shoes on and I was coming into the sector, what I should look for. So this is a two-part question, Rob, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
The first part is, are all accountants and lawyers capable of giving good franchise advice and franchise business advice, whether it be accounting or contracts? And the second part, if I walk into your office and I know you are an expert with franchising, what should I be asking you?
Two very good questions. The first one, it's best to liken it. When we're sick or not right, we go to a general practitioner. Our GP tells us most of the facts of the world, but there are some things that are beyond them that they then refer you to a specialist.
Yeah.
Just like in franchising. There are a lot of accountants out there and they're good people and they know lots of things, but they may not be a specialist in franchising. So if you're going to get some particular advice, you've got to go to a specialist franchise accountant. And that's similar to as if we're ill. We all do that. We get the right people to help us get better. Now, the second part is, what would you ask a specialist franchise accountant? Some things that should be asked is, what do you actually know? And ask them that. Some are very good with particularly, say, retail franchises versus service franchises.
Okay.
So it's worth finding out what their background and skill set is. The next point is, well, what can you do for me? Why should I get you to help me find and make sure I'm making the right decisions in this franchise? And it is going to be their industry knowledge, experience and years of working in the franchising sector that will help them be able to show that they know things. What I usually see is that after about an hour, the questions that get asked show that somebody knows something or not. They can't lie, they can't hide themselves if they don't know what they're talking about. And I think that's the relationship, that's what franchising is all about. There are a lot of good advisors out there in franchising who work together with accountants, lawyers, financial specialists, all sorts of particular skilled people, and they all work as a team to help franchising succeed. That's what is most important. A good franchise accountant is just a member who's part of the team to help the franchisee get successful.
Okay, so should I say to you, look, I'm thinking about buying a franchise over here that sells widgets, and they've given me the disclosure document. It's got some figures in it here. Tell me if I should buy this franchise.
Good question, but the first thing is, why do you want to buy this franchise? Finding out from what you're looking for to make sure, are you the right person that would do it the right thing and the right fit with this business?
Well, I am. I'm perfectly
Of course you are. Well, then the next thing is looking at the numbers to start seeing what's real and not real, or what should be questioned.
So will the disclosure document give me the answer, or give you the answer you need to give me good advice?
I don't think it gives a total answer, it's a starting point.
Right.
You can't get everything from a piece of paper. You've got to find out and talk to people and find out. Now, there are stories that are going to be told within any franchise document, and it's understanding what they are, but also the reasons behind, because you just can't go forever explaining everything. But that's part of the investigation, that the franchise disclosure document is a good starting point to understand how a franchise should operate. The franchise agreement does the thing of explaining how legally things should operate and what the responsibilities are of a franchisee and franchisor. They're all good things, but once again, you've got to get more, and that's why you've got to communicate, because franchising is really a system that allows communication between franchisor, franchisees, and all the people involved. And I think once you get that communication, you'll get the understanding, which puts it better into picture what is said in a franchise document.
So I walk in with a disclosure document and it's 5 years old. Is that worth anything?
No. It's a waste of time.
How often should the disclosure document be upgraded or updated?
Well, they're required to do it every year.
Right.
And
so if I walk into a system that's got a disclosure document that's 3 or 4 years old, I'm better off saying, well, something maybe not quite right here.
You've got it.
So, but if it's updated every year, it's current and it's signed off by a lawyer, then there's a real chance you're looking at something that's reasonable.
good franchisors will comply with the law. The law requires an annual franchise update of disclosure documents.
Yeah.
Together with that, you see franchisors updating franchise agreements, and also they'll update any other documents that are provided out to franchisees. That's what a good franchisor does. They make sure information is current
Yeah.
and it's correct. And if it needs change, then you change it for the better.
So the last part of this is then, if I don't know, because I don't know anything about it,
Sure.
but I can give you the disclosure document, and it is 5 years old, then you would hope that the accountant you gave it to would pick up that it's 5 years old and say, this is not right.
It's true. So coming back, if it was a specialist franchise accountant,
Yeah,
you'd get that.
That's right.
But if you had a general practitioner accountant, their skills may allow for it, but there's some things that they're not familiar with, and that's why you go to a
So
specialist.
they're probably not aware of the code of conduct that requires that to happen.
Correct.
So, okay, I think you've answered those questions well. Thanks, Rob. Thanks for coming in.